Hello, sweet friends and friends I don't know yet. I've been playing with all the ways that I feel called to express myself and share my story and communicate messages that are on my heart. And over the last, I don't know, specifically, I'll say the last like month or two, um, maybe it's only been a month, but things have been coming in a bit of like poetic form or spoken word. And I've never shared this side of me before. So it comes with lots of fear and vulnerability. And I just want to be honest when I say that for those of you who are also learning different sides of you, learning about new ways that your heart wants to be expressed or seen in this world. And I tend to take these poems or spoken words and just share them with a little safe container or a couple of close friends. Um, but I got, I don't want to say called out, but I had it really brought into my awareness of how much of a disservice it is and how out of integrity I am by not sharing these things that are coming through with the collective. My heart's calling is to rise up to the highest version of myself and inspire others to do the same. Have me return to wholeness, shed away anything that no longer serves me or that actually never served me, and be more visible in my gifts and in this calling that really was put on my heart, right? And so all that aside or taken into consideration, I am no longer going to be hiding my little gifts or my big gifts away from the world. And I'm going to be showing up in full integrity to this calling. And I'm going to be moving out of the fear that comes with being seen, especially practicing my craft and practicing the things that I love to do, which seem really vulnerable because it is like, yeah, maybe you won't like me for the way I dress or the way I look or something, but like the fear of being seen and judged or um, not valued um, for who I am. Um, I just can't continue living like that. So here's my spoken word piece. I was on a call yesterday and we were asked to write something about like the death and rebirth process of whatever that looks like in our lives, whether we used to show up as a certain way and that version of us has been shed and died, and we've moved into rebirthing and resurrecting a new way of being. And so this specific piece was about how I used to view bedtime and ooh, and what I learned. And it's so beneficial to myself and to my children, and for me not to speak to it and share about it. Like I said, it's such a disservice to the world, and it's such a disservice to whatever force of nature or source that is pouring into me. And so here I go, all the fear and all the vulnerability and everything that's going to come along with this. I'm going to put it out and share. So I don't have it memorized, and I could probably continue adding bits and pieces or refining it. But again, that desire for perfection or wanting things to look or feel a certain way has held me back, and I no longer am okay with that. So take it for what it is, add another verse, share it with me, tell me something else that you feel um, when you switched from being a certain type of bedtime person, mama, to being a more regulated or a more connected bedtime mama. So touched out too much, needed all the time. Bedtime's finally here. It's my time to unwind. But little ones need me more. Their voices call me back. I do my best to keep showing up, but patience I do lack. High strung, ready to be done. I don't have more to give. All my energy's gone. I've been leaking like a sieve. The day has taken out of me all that I had left. Bedtime's here, and all I want is a quiet place to rest. Dishes in the sink, toys are on the floor. I pick things up all day long, but the house, it needed more. Rushing through bedtime, cross it off a list. One more thing to conquer when I just want to quit. That's the way it used to be when I didn't see as clear, and when I didn't know the gift of having them so near. Those hands that grabbed at me and their desire to be close wasn't actually a burden. It was a gift for my soul. Their warm little bodies, their sweet smelling heads, nervous system regulators just waiting in their beds. I too am that to them. Together we do mend any dysregulation at the long day's end. My familiar heartbeat, my familiar breast, my familiar voice, my familiar breath. That's what they wanted. That's what they need. That's what I thought. But now I clearly see that closeness was affecting me as much as it was them. When I slow down and lay beside them, the healing work begins. We begin to sync, our systems work together. A couple minutes pass and I start feeling so much better. My body relaxes, my mind quiets down. I'm flooded with peace as we lay without a sound. And this morning, a sweet friend who I shared that with in a container yesterday wrote to me and reflected back what bedtime looked like for her last night after she had been impacted and imprinted by these words and this message. And as I read that, my body was literally covered head to toe with like chills, and I had tears in my eyes. And so here I am with tears in my eyes and a shaky voice, but on a mission to help mamas get to a better place so that they can be more regulated, so that they can show up in a place where their presence is a calm force in their home, where they can savor and enjoy these moments before they send their little ones off into dreamland, wherever they go, whatever may come. Like, the most precious gift that we could give them would be to send them off in a state of peace and connectedness and gratitude that we have each other. And so for myself, that's what bedtime feels like to me. Me trying with my first one to put her in a crib and walk away, me not knowing what co-sleeping looked like. And I'm so glad that she was not having all the other mainstream ways of me trying to train her to sleep, so that I could get the gift, not only for myself, but for her, and then for her two brothers who came along later and knew nothing but co-sleeping and closeness and regulation. And yeah, there's still moments of like, oh, just get in the shower. Like, oh, I'm just so done with the day. And also the reminder that I know that that's not going to serve anybody. That energy is a stimulant, not a relaxant. And so last night or the other night, I was laying in bed, which means that I might not get as much alone time for myself or with my husband. I might not get everything crossed off my list of what I wanted to do. But when I was sandwiched in between my two little boys who aren't so little anymore, and each of them was drifting off to sleep, and I laid my head on the pillow and the rain started, like I was filled with such a sense of like pleasure, like just like it's beyond contentment. It's this feeling of just like overwhelming peace of like listening to the rain, knowing that both my little ones were sleeping soundly, that their energies and systems were working with mine for us all to get into a place of regulation and rest and allow our bodies to be in a place where they can do the work every night to restore ourselves. So here I am with tears in my eyes and heart on my sleeve, and I don't know anywhere how else to show up in this world. And it's scary to show up online and in these platforms that way because I don't know how it'll be received. And that's okay. I'm okay with whatever is out there. It's more important to me starting right now to show up in my in alignment and in my fullest expression and in service to what has been put on my heart. So I hope this serves you. Let me know how it lands. Drop me another verse. Let's rhyme some more. And yeah, so much love to you, Mama. I see you. I know your struggle. I've been there. I still have my own struggles. And I've also figured out a lot of things that have supported me so that life feels like it's filled with more joy and more ease than it does struggles, which makes the struggles easier to navigate through, knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And so much love to all of you doing the work of healing yourselves so that your children can watch and be in the space and have modeled for them what it likes to be a whole, healed, connected human, and to be with that in ourselves. So I hope you have a beautiful day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And I look forward to having you see me and witness me some more in my my pukey vulnerability shares. So all the best.